All right. Good evening. Today is Wednesday, January 21st, 2026 at 6 p.m. We are on the Brecksville-Broadview Heights Board of Education, 6638 Mill Road, Brecksville, Ohio. This meeting is a meeting of the Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. Public participation is governed by Board Bylaw 0169.1, public participation at board meetings. This meeting will be live streamed via YouTube and will be recorded for later viewing. Please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel where all recordings are posted. Item 1B, please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 1C, roll call.
Mr. Chase?
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelick?
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski?
Yes.
Ms. O'Mara? Mr. Dosen?
Yes. Moving on to item 2A, President's announcements. I have none, other than I hope everyone enjoyed a couple of free days off. Moving on to 2B, notice of consent agenda. Do any board members wish to remove any items from the consent agenda? No? Okay, moving on to item 3, board areas of responsibility, co-curricular, extracurricular, Lisa and Tish.
I have no report. I'm a little catching up from surgery, so I'll turn it over to my board colleague.
I also don't have a report, but yeah. And I see we changed the order. They look like
That's little curveball.
that's okay.
So we'll move on to curriculum. Tish.
Okay, so try to go fast with curriculum tonight. 3 different areas to report out on. Assessment and diagnostics. Our high school has completed their end of course exams and their makeups for state testing. Our American government end of course scores were very impressive with 97% passing level or above. You have to look at the state averages of 66%. So BBH in that area continues to do very well. Our benchmark diagnostics, which includes our iReady and Acadience testing, runs starting this month. Yesterday. January 20th through the end of this month. We'll have spring assessments coming up for some of our special populations of students. Our English language learners will be taking the OELPA. Our students with disabilities will be taking the alternate assessment. That will start in February and go then through April. BBH is in good position with some of the things that are going on at the state level with our testing and our assessments. The assessments that we give continue to be approved and by the state. They've just done a whole reworking of that and are only they are only approving about 5 assessments for reading diagnostics, and everything that we use is already approved. So we're in good shape there. As far as curriculum and instruction goes, we'll be adopting a new Spanish curriculum. And that will be for review at the curriculum department. You just need to contact Cindy Lavoie if you would like to review our Spanish curriculum. I'm not going to attempt to say what those curriculum, it looks like it's, Reporteros. Yes, is what we are looking to adopt. And then we are continuing with professional development for the writing revolution, continuing to train our teachers. And I think what's fantastic about that is that we have so many staff that are interested in continuing to rigorously develop their skills and learn this curriculum for writing revolution. We have some work going on with the new K-2 report card. We have a committee that has met and is fully revising that report card for next school year. And it will align with the work that we're doing in the district around the science of reading curriculum, the reading rope, and the 3rd grade reading guarantee, which is mandated by the state. So new next year, new K-2 report card. And then as far as data, multi-tiered systems of support and our industry industry pathways, we are doing some work in that area with some analytics and insights using PowerSchool to develop dashboards to provide more information around MTSS. And then our elementary MTSS meetings continue to move forward. They're looking at data and developing action steps. And then Dr. Martin, our principal, Katie Mann at the middle school, Kevin Jacob at the high school, and then our instructional specialist, Scott Kinkoff, are looking at ways to move forward with our state mandates of embedding industry recognized credentials at the middle school, so that they're going to start working on that even earlier than the high school. So again, BBH forward thinking, already looking to go above and beyond what the state's requiring. That's all.
All right, great. Thank you. Moving on to Cuyahoga Valley Career Center. Rachel is here with us, so.
Hey everyone, it's good to be back. First.
Just make sure, is the green light on? Thanks.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Okay, well, thank you. It's good to be back. I wanted to first start off by thanking Mrs. O'Mara for serving as the rotating board member last year. It was really great to serve next to her and have a direct connection to the board. With that being said, I will be back, and I know you're a new board member I haven't met yet, but typically I'm not here for every meeting. But if anybody, and that goes anybody here or that is listening, if anyone has any questions, comments, just wants to learn more about the career school, you can reach me by email or phone anytime, and I would be happy to chat with you. And then I did give you guys a save the date. This is actually our fall 2025 all boards dinner that got postponed because we wanted it to coordinate with the grand opening of our highly anticipated construction trades building. And that will be Thursday, April 30th. We would just love if anybody on the board and administration could attend. The school has been working really hard to prepare for this, and it's just a beautiful state-of-the-art building. But that evening, if you come, you'll actually get to go on a tour and see what the Brecksville-Broadview Heights students have access to. And it should be a really fun time. And I think leads me to my next announcement. Just really more exciting news for the Career Center. We recently were evaluated and rated, and there are 91 career tech schools in the state of Ohio. So we are in a state that has a lot of schools and good schools. And Cuyahoga Valley Career Center rated the highest, making us the #1 career center in the state of Ohio. And I think that's a really, really awesome amenity that our students get to share in. And yeah, I'm really proud of that. And I know that we have some wait lists, and with that construction trades building opening up, that will also open up some more spots for the Brecksville-Broadview Heights students, because I remember that being one of the issues when I was here last year. And that concludes all my updates. Nice and simple.
Quick update on enrollment at the Career Center. I was looking at enrollment earlier today, but 21% of our students that are eligible to go to the Career Center attend the Career Center. So talking about our juniors and seniors, so 21% of our juniors and seniors attend the Career Center. So that number has grown greatly over the years.
I was gonna say, I mean, even 8 years ago, I think it was much less. So
We're giving seats away.
Yes.
yes, I mean, I think that that's fantastic that we have so many of our students that are taking advantage of the awesome programs of that.
Thank you. And I did just have one more thing. I just wanted to share, I'm trying to be quick and mindful of your time, but when I say #1 career center, I said, oh, how can I communicate that to people who aren't in the building like I am? How can I communicate that to someone who might never has been to CVCC? But I found a statistic that I wanted to share that I think could summarize it. 96.8% of our students that graduate from a CVCC program are employed, enrolled, or enlisted upon graduation. So that means they are employed and trained, ready to enter the job field straight from high school. They're enrolled into a post-secondary program that can include college or advanced training in in their specialized fields or enlist in the United States military. And I just think that's like a lifelong gift that they are giving students and changing lives. So.
And that's great that you bring that up, because I think even 8 years ago, or like
Yeah,
even a few years ago, the kind of perception was that if you went to the career center, that you weren't really looking to maybe go on to post-secondary
Yeah.
higher education.
mhm.
And that was never the case.
We have all kinds of
Yeah.
options now.
And
Yeah.
that statistic
Yeah.
shows, where you can go to the career center, you can go to college, you can
Yes.
do all of that, that it's
And the
all
program
available
development's
to you.
like based around that. There's really a fit for a lot of different types of learning. So, all
Yes.
right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Rachel. Moving on to finance. Any update on the audit? It's still in play. We have an annual audit by the state, and that is in
Review.
review right now. So when that gets finalized, we will share the results of the audit. Moving on to legislative OSB liaison, Brad.
No specific legislative update for tonight, but I will be meeting with some OSBA people in the coming days and hope to have some things to share with the board in the near future.
Permanent improvements facilities, Brad and myself. You want to share anything?
Just that there's, going to be activity on the campus here and it's on our agenda tonight with phase 2 of the Hilton driveway project as part of the master plan. So that'll be discussed a little bit later. I think we're excited to see that go forward.
Yes, very, very excited. So later in the agenda, the board will be voting on a bid to install the new driveway where Hilton was up to the main campus. So very exciting. PSO, Lisa.
There was no PSO meeting this month for council, so I don't have a huge update. I know Dr. Martin was at the PSO meeting today for the middle school, sharing information about curriculum. So thank you to him for going. I had a chance, I listened in on Zoom, so.
Zoom?
Yeah, you were great. As usual. And the next PSO council meeting will be February 5th at 9:30.
All right, safety, Lisa and Ava.
I don't have anything. I also don't have any updates for safety.
Okay, schools foundation, Tish.
I just have one thing. February 26th is the big fundraiser for the year for our schools foundation, A Toast to Our Future. It's going to be at Michelangelo's. Tickets are live on the website, which is BBHSF.org. Our online auction is also live, so you can start your bidding and just watch for additional packages that will come online from now until the event kicks off on the 26th. It was a great time last year. I encourage anybody to attend.
Great. Sustainability, Brad and Ava.
Brad and I have attended 2 meetings now for the Sustainability Committee. And at the last one, the most recent one, Brian Koss had introduced the notion that he would be happy. And I think that that's probably saying that facetiously. He'd be happy to write the grant for that committee, which he has done. And is going to be going in for its reading on January the 30th. And this particular grant funding is one where we have to come up with the money first in order to provide the items that are going to be purchased. And then after a rigorous review, the Cuyahoga County Solid Waste District will come up with a yay or nay in terms of the refunding of the money that we have expended. So we were very, very careful per Brian's instructions as to what it was that we were going to be asking for. And for this grant, our proposal will support the installation of standardized recycling and waste stations, improved signage and collection equipment in high traffic areas throughout the district. The project emphasizes student leadership, education, and long-term sustainability with green teams and student organizations assisting in implementation, monitoring, and outreach. And one of the things that Brad and I feel very strongly about is the necessity for the building of a strong culture. If there's no will, on the part of the community, on the part of the community of students and the staff, then this is not going to happen. It could be a one-shot wonder. We'll have all these wonderful containers and nobody's participating. So the education piece is very important. The building of culture is very important because that's going to sustain the sustainability. So I'm hoping that we're going to be able to take advantage of all the things that are going to be coming in, because of course, I'm assuming that we will be getting the funding and moving on with an exciting era in terms of sustainability for Brecksville Broadview Heights City Schools.
Okay, thank you. Transportation, there have been no appeals filed, so we're going to move on to the next agenda item. Item 4, Superintendent's Communications. I'll turn it over to Jeff.
Awesome. First of all, I think we have some members in the audience tonight that are here completing some class assignments, I think, as they came in and I thought we were being rushed. But I think many of these gentlemen that are here, is it a government class tonight, gentlemen? Awesome. Who's the teacher? All right, I will make sure I vouch that you were here. And we're here for the whole meeting as well. Wink, wink. So, thank you. We do have 2 presentations tonight. You know, something that we started a year or 2 ago was making sure we had representation from the building, just to continue to show our public as well as our Board of Education the wonderful things that are happening in our buildings. So our first group that's going to come tonight in front of you, you've heard about this activity in the past. It's been rebranded, has a new name, new organization somewhat, but we have Alexa, Billy, and Maddie, if you guys don't mind heading over to the podium, are going to present a little bit about their project this year. And this is an initiative that BBHCSD has supported for, I think, upwards of 5 years, have raised a considerable amount of money for a great cause. And our 3 wonderful students are here to tell us a little bit about tonight. So all yours.
Okay, so first I wanted to thank you for allowing us to meeting. And then you just like.
Sorry.
Got that for you. Just give us a little.
There you go.
There you go.
So as you may know, we are juniors at the high school and we wanted to talk to you about our involvement in Blood Cancer United. Our team for our school this year is called Team Horizon, and we chose this name because we wanted to be the hope on someone's horizon. By raising the funds that will go to help people with blood cancer, we want to be able to create a future for people where they can look beyond their diagnosis and beyond their treatment and look into their lives and see hope and not a struggle.
So our mission as a team is to improve the quality of life for patients with blood cancer and their families. So within the Leukemia Lymphoma Society and now Blood Cancer United, there were 3 pillars, which are patient support, research, and policy and advocacy. Our team chose research as our main pillar because we wanted to put all of our funds into the research pillar to help start at the root where blood cancers can be changed.
Every year, Blood Cancer United honors someone from the community that has battled a journey through blood cancer. This year, our honored hero is Michaela Coyne. She is 6 years old, but first started her journey when she was 2. She was diagnosed with high-risk acute lymphoblastic leukemia and spent over a month in the hospital. She continued to attend the hospital for many rounds and rounds of treatments over 8 months. On March 20th, 2024, she got to ring the bell, signifying the end of her cancer journey. It's people like Michaela who are the reason behind what we do at Blood Cancer United and inspire us as campaign leaders to keep up the fight for blood cancer, continue advocating, and the strength in a community. So our fundraising goal this year is $75,000. And we chose this goal because we're going to be competing against other teams in the Cleveland area. And we wanted to start at this number because we think it's a goal and it's going to be challenging, but it's also attainable with all of the plan of action that we have put into place. So through our plan of action, we have presented many business sponsorships. And we have a team of over 60 people who all send out letters and emails. And we're also hosting many fundraisers throughout the community and our school. And one of our main ways to help reach our goal is to spread awareness, which is why we're here at this meeting today. So for some upcoming events that we have, we wanted to share with you so you can write them down in your calendar or just spread the word with other people in the community that you know. So on January 23rd, which is this Friday, that's our kickoff day when our fundraising page goes live and people can donate money to us. And it's also the date of our pickleball tournament at the Blossom Fieldhouse, and that is for students. Then January 28th is a big event that we needed your help with because it's an adult-only event, and it's a Cheers to a Cure night at Wild Eagle, and that's where the QR code leads to. And we really need more people to sign up, but we need it by like today or tomorrow. So if anyone is interested, please feel free to scan the QR code and sign up. And then on February 13th, we have our adult pickleball tournament. And on February 14th, we have a Valentine's themed babysitting night at Creative Movement Center, which is a dance studio in Broadview Heights. So just share all of these events and thank you so much. Thank you. In addition, we'll be sending all of the board members an email on Friday once our fundraising page goes live in case you wanted to donate to us or to send out the link to friends and family that you know would be interested in supporting our cause. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Continue to be thoroughly impressed with the work that our students do, especially on this project and the initiative they show, the 21st century learning skills that are actually put into action. So when we talk about the attributes of a bee and the things that we're trying to teach throughout their time here at BBH, this is on full display. And each year, the 3 years I've been here, I'm just thoroughly impressed. Great job. Spoiler alert, the three of them will be with Craig and I tomorrow as we record our next Legend and Leader podcast. So they're going to make an appearance on the podcast and continue just to share the great work that they're doing. So thank you guys for being here tonight and wish you all the luck. Next up, I'm not going to steal.
Say one word?
Yes, please do.
Not an appeal for sympathy. Without your work, I would not be sitting here. I have chronic lymphocytic leukemia and have been dealing with this for 5 years. But because of the research that these cancers, many of them are silent. You know, no, you wouldn't know that anybody would have it. All that my oncologist says is, look, the minute that things go a little south, I have a pill. So you'll start taking a pill. You know, how could that possibly have happened even 10, 15 years ago? You know, because when you get the diagnosis, of course, your blood runs cold, so to speak. But thank you so much, because there's a face to all of your efforts, and I really do appreciate it very much.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't want to steal much thunder of Mr. Rings, but I'll let Mr. Rings introduce our next presentation.
Here, I thought all the kids were here to see the middle school science teachers again. You guys said, I mean, that's what I thought you showed up for. You saw it on the agenda and showed up. So you are in for a treat tonight, board, and everybody who's here tonight. They have work for their board members to do, I believe, and probably everybody in the room. So this is inquiry-based learning, something that Mrs. Croson, our department chair, has started probably 10, 11 years ago, kind of on her own. We've gotten the rest of the science department on board over the last 5 to 6 years. And our scores at 8th grade OST have been in the 90s every year, including 94 and 95 the last 2 years, which has been highest, pretty much highest in the state, where the average state average is 63% on the 8th grade, and the highest growth in science as well. So what they're doing is wonderful. They're going to have you work tonight. You're going to have to do some science tonight. I know you'll be fine, Tish. You'll figure it out. All right. It's going to be good. So I'm going to introduce the 3 8th grade science teachers here tonight that are going to be presenting. Miss Kelly Croson, Miss Kiri Franklin, and Mrs. Courtney Samuelson. I'm going to turn it over to them, and they have some work for you to do. So have fun.
Very kind introduction. Appreciate that. How's everybody doing tonight?
Awesome.
Awesome. I see some familiar faces, which is nice as well, and students here. So we actually wanted to start off with a little taste of what our sixth, seventh, and eighth graders see every day in our classrooms. So we're gonna put you in student mode, we're gonna call it, and have you do an activity that we're actually doing with our kids right now in eighth grade. And then once you get some experience in our classrooms, and get to kind of feel what students feel, I think we'll start to put all the pieces together where how do we learn like a scientist, and how could science classroom today maybe look a little different than the one that you've been in before. So what's coming around the room is a mystery bead bottle, and we are going to have you work in groups here in a minute. It'll be super easy. You got this. Confidence, right? And we gave you some whiteboards, bless you. In class, we do have bigger whiteboards, but they're a little cumbersome to truck down the driveway. So we improvise with some smaller ones today, but we're gonna make do. But basically, I'm gonna kind of activate my bead bottle up here. And then once you guys get into whoever's, sitting around you, the group that you want to work with, we're gonna see if you can kind of think through what might be going on. So to activate one of these bead bottles, give it a nice shake. I like it. It's like rain.
Are we self-selecting our groups?
Yes.
Okay, how many of you guys are taking a higher level science? I'm gonna take our high schoolers to do that.
Opening bids, donation. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so doesn't look super interesting at first, but if you really watch, something interesting is happening.
Fascinating.
What is going on, right? I know I do have a video up there if anyone at home wants to see a better view. There we go. Kind of satisfying too, I think. Yes. Yeah. So your challenge is to really make some good observations, maybe shake it to the side, shake it upside down, and see if you can start to kind of puzzle out what might be possibly going on. And maybe questions is something that comes to mind that you want to jot down on your board. You're not quite sure, but you have a kind of a question you would ask, or something that makes you wonder about, or maybe you could even draw some pictures of what you think might be going on in here, like a model or a diagram. Maybe there's some words or vocab that comes to mind, or maybe there's an observation that, oh, that might be a clue. You never know. Subtle things can sometimes be important. So we're gonna give you guys maybe 4-5 minutes. We'll kind of see read the room and see if you can jot a couple of those things, pictures, words, vocab onto your whiteboard. All right, I'll be around. We'll all be around. You get your own. I love it.
In which that's all day long.
That's my question.
And then once they find each other, then it's like laws of attraction. Okay, say it again.
But then they come to your space.
Well, what makes white, they white, and what makes the greens, but are they, do they wait?
So. Our instructional specialists come in and make us special lessons. So I'm like, oh, we talk about vocabulary. Okay, what do you guys thought? And what do you think about the beats?
Are you going to look at, they are?
Everything makes sense though, which is right, and you've got thoughts to back up what your thought process is. Like good. I still have to get my phone. So.
Make a good timer.
Say. Earphones have less.
I love it. I stand myself. Love that. Are you looking at? Right, they have the same volume. Same. They do.
They have some weird.
Color.
Is more depth.
The whites always and the big. No,
Okay.
and the whites are always at the top. Not when it's horizontal. But when it's vertical, yeah.
Shaking it.
Which makes the shake of.
So unsure.
So or separated.
And the liquid is milky. And it has legs when it starts flowing down the plastic, so it looks like rubbing alcohol or something like that. The suspension.
Well, that was the initial. So.
Do they have
I like it, I love it. No.
behave in a way that kind of mirrors the other?
Out of how many trials we've had at least. Right? Don't look at it, okay. They don't make it. What we see.
That they would add it to-
We are the same. Okay, so you're Even though we might want to say. If they could see anything, yeah. Over there.
I know.
They know, they're there about water.
You will.
Alright, does anyone need a little bit of time? How are we looking?
A little more time, I mean, what?
I love walking around the room and hearing conversations, seeing drawings and awesome vocab, like. You guys are awesome, we're on it. So, this is something that we actually have done very recently with our 8th graders, so let's kind of keep it going and see if we can give a little bit more of the experience for you guys as far as maybe share anything wrote down. No, won't put anybody on the spot. I'd love to hear from maybe 2, 3, anything at all you put down on your whiteboard, maybe a picture, a question you had, an idea. And then we'll show you what some of the kids put down too, so I won't put anybody on the spot like you said.
If I go first, do I get extra credit?
My mic is off, so yeah, sorry about that. Yes, go for it.
So we just wrote down a bunch of observations. We observed that, obviously the light colored beads go to the top, the pink goes to the bottom, but then the liquids look different. Looks
Oh.
like it's almost like 2 different liquids combined, because at the bottom you can see when they're separating, it's very fizzy or like kind of like bubbly at the top, and it's clear at the bottom.
So the liquids, you suspect they might be different, if I'm hearing correctly,
Like it's
because
like it's like oil and water mixed together,
Okay.
and they're separating, but you can't tell because it's all clear.
Gotcha. So even though they're colorless, you saw some fizziness, is what I
That's
heard.
what it looked like to me.
Interesting. Okay. Anyone else want to follow up on that? Did anyone agree, disagree, have another perspective? Yeah, what you got?
I think the same thing. We also thought it was 2 different liquids. We thought like the liquid on the bottom was more dense. That's what I was counting below.
Oh, that sounds like a fancy word. What is that density? I know, I did put you on the spot. Can anyone help us out with that? What's density? Okay. Okay, so mass makes things sink perhaps. Very cool. I love your drawing too. Very nice. All right, so it sounds like you're kind of lining up with some ideas shared over here and then putting in this idea of maybe some of the sinking things are more dense. Very cool. Is there anyone else that wanted to jump in with a question or?
Well,
Yeah. Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say, we were on the density train also.
Okay,
And when you shake the liquid up, which we also thought there was 2 liquids, there's a denser one on the bottom and a less dense on the top. And when you shake it up, it puts air into the whole mixture. So after you're done shaking it, where the liquid then has a different overall density, which is heavier than the clear beads, which is why they rise to the top, but it is less dense than the yellow bead, which is why the yellow beads get pushed to the bottom. Then
Okay.
you can see the air that's in the liquid come up in bubbles, which then changes it. And as that comes up, the yellow beads rise up, and then the clear beads drop down, getting the equilibrium of the density of probably the 2 liquids that are mixed together.
okay, so I'm hearing 2 liquids with 2 different densities,
Right.
2 different beads with different densities,
Yes.
and then air mixing in too?
Yes.
What do you guys think about that? Does anyone agree, disagree? See a lot of head nodding. All right, very awesome. This is great. Anything else we haven't mentioned yet that was observed, or we kind of hit the major things?
Different?
Awesome. Well, if you guys don't mind, I want to share with you some of the things that students, our 8th graders, have written about this idea and see if you agree or have any, thoughts about things that they wrote. So I don't know if you could forward. There we go. So, and I just picked out a couple of them that showed different things. So some of the kids were wondering about what might be in there, kind of thinking about multiple liquids. So that idea had come up. And I think there was actually somebody who was very much in student mode in here that maybe had some other evidence about what might be in there. You want to share?
Yeah, I don't know if that was legal, but
We're just waiting for it.
I just had to take off the lid and smell it, and then my colleagues were saying, take a sip.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm not doing that, and just to prove it, so we went a little more experimental
So
on
what
it.
did you notice when you, like, did you get any other of your senses involved?
Oh, yeah,
Picking up the lid.
it was pretty strong, like an ammonia, or I think Rachel said gasoline, but no, it's not gasoline.
Goodness.
And
Mara, she was giving a suggestion about what the liquids might be. Oh, probably alcohol.
Oh, so kind of like a cleaning smell,
Salt water.
salt water?
we also wanted to rule out that air thing in there, so it's like, if we take off the lid, does that air gap do anything with this rising and settling, so we.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, and our kids do that too. And I, in a safe
I
way,
enjoy it.
encourage it. It's all good. It's all good. You're in student mode. It's perfect. So this was just one board that had a lot of really cool questions where the kids are wondering about what's in there. And almost every class, somebody does crack it open. We use it to our advantage. Some other diagrams. I saw some really good ones around the room as well. Things like density came up. Before versus after, you can see that they're pointing out that these beads are acting differently, the cloudiness. So once again, things that you guys are also picking up on. I think I have one more slide of some example whiteboards. There we go. So salt water, you guys mentioned that. Some of the kids were wondering about maybe like the beads being positive or negative. Maybe they're attracting somehow. So there's lots of really cool ideas. And very much like what we did in here, this is something that only took 5 minutes and the kids were all in, like they're all engaged, wondering what's going on. I actually had to spread this activity out a little longer than I typically would with our fabulous Ohio weather we've been experiencing lately. And the kids have been coming in the room. Are we doing that bead bottle thing again? Because we kind of got right in the middle of the whiteboard discussion and they don't like that. They want to actually kind of reach a little bit more of like, what's going on with this thing? So you could go one more slide for me. Perfect. So this is actually one of our introductory labs into a unit that we're teaching on Earth's interior. And we set up all of our units like that, where curiosity drives student learning, discovery drives student learning. So it might be something like this, where it's a kind of discrepant event. It could be a question we pose and the kids conduct experiments and collect data. There's a lot of different ways where we use curiosity to open and drive learning. Later on in the unit, we pull in wave data. We're eventually trying to get to this idea of how does Earth form? What did it look like 4.6 billion years ago when it was a giant ball of lava, all these asteroids and planetozoids bombarding it? How do we know that? What changed in, 4.6 billion years is a long time. So how did we get from there to what we know about the Earth below our feet? And honestly, there's a lot more questions and answers. We really haven't gone very far even into the crust. So how do we know what's down there? We're learning new things all the time. So the next piece of the puzzle, besides looking at density and how the cooling Earth, maybe density impacted cooling Earth, but also getting into wave data, seismic waves, and other things to help us kind of unravel what do we know about interior Earth, and eventually how does this impact our surface as well. So
in Disciplinary Literacy by Delia Lent, one of her very phenomenal quotes was a 2014 study into curiosity and learning from the University of California reveals that curiosity allows the brain to retain information better than when curiosity is not present. So my colleagues and I worked with this curriculum to spark the curiosity of each unit and kind of have that drive the whole time of thinking like a scientist and exposing them to some sort of phenomenon to keep them engaged with the content as we continue throughout the curriculum throughout the year. And this ties right into the disciplinary literacy work that we've been doing at the middle school as an entire building the last couple of years, going into the whole idea of learning science as if you are a scientist. Is more meaningful, impactful, and fosters greater understanding than just being told what it is you're supposed to learn. So a real scientist who learns something brand new for the first time is looking at observations and data and is drawing conclusions from themselves. They're trying to figure out what's going on, and that process of trying to figure out, thinking about it, and communicating with their peers is how they just make new discoveries. And we want students to learn by making new discoveries themselves, not to learn because we told them that they're supposed to learn.
So Curiosity, Relay Led came and actually worked with us, which was fantastic. On the science specific side of things, AMTA has been an amazing resource. I've taken more classes than I can count at the moment for AMTA. It's American Modeling Teachers Association, and they specifically work with science and math teachers, STEM teachers, and all of their curriculum and teaching methodology, like the whiteboarding, is research-based, and also strategies for how to basically have curriculum that is inquiry-driven, and great resource as well, coupled up with Relaya's work, which is fantastic. So just a little bit more about how a unit about Earth would look with one of these more inquiry-centered styles versus traditional. I think Kiri's gonna jump
Yes,
in.
we're gonna compare here traditional learning and inquiry-centered learning. And this is my 8th year teaching, but my first year in this district teaching this way, and I will never go back. I will never go back to traditional learning. I said that to Mr. Ring the other day in my pre-conference for my observation. I'd never go back the way I've only been teaching here for 4.5, 5 months, and it's astounding from a teacher perspective, witnessing the students. It's just incredible. So traditionally we'd start with lecture and or the textbook telling students point blank, this is what we're learning. And now we're starting with something interesting that's sparking their curiosity that they want to know the answer to, and that we're going to work through the unit to get to that answer. So they're more interested and they have some buy-in to what we're gonna learn. Like for instance, the bead bottle, they probably would start off with a picture that we just kind of showed with Earth and talking about density right away, not you discovering it on your own. And then traditional learning would have labs sprinkled in occasionally, focusing on the lecture material that you read in the book, after you read it in the book, after you read it in the book. And you might get one lab per unit. And if you missed that lab because you were absent, not a big deal, because as long as you memorize what's in the notes, you're going to be fine on the test. Whereas we are doing labs and activities every single day. 90% or more of what we're doing are labs and activities for the kids are looking and making the observations themselves. So instead of all this lecture and notes and maybe a lab, it's all of these labs where kids are experiencing things themselves to get that information. And it's new information. It hasn't been given to them yet. We don't even give them the vocabulary for what they've learned until after they've finished the lab and after they've figured out kind of how things work. Then we say, oh, by the way, this is the word for that. But you just discovered how it works for yourself. Traditional learning, a lot of students are taking notes, answering questions in a textbook or a workbook. And in what we're doing, students are collaborating, they're making discussions. We then come together as a class to come to a consensus. What did we see? We discuss it out, we debate it. When we have groups who have opposing opinions, our jobs as the educator is not to tell them which one is right. Our job as an educator is to pose questions and give them more examples until they as a class can come up with, oh, well, this has the most evidence, and so this must be how it's working. And then in traditional learning, students are memorizing facts. They lack a deeper understanding of the content, it's rote memorization, but that's not what we're doing here. No, because a lot of times what I found, because I used to teach a different way too before I came here and learned a lot about all of this, and I found that kids could repeat back to you what they read. They didn't know what that meant or why it did that, but they absolutely could repeat it back and parrot it. Here, because they have to come up with the conception, they have to look at the patterns and find
how it works. They actually understand how it works, and the inner workings of it, and they have a better, deeper understanding, which they can apply to other things later.
We talked to them a lot about how when they're preparing for an assessment, how can you explain this to someone at home that has no idea what you're talking about? You know, I encourage them to not use their note, to not use any diagrams or anything. And explain, you know, I was taken back by our magnetism unit. I just thought it was so remarkable how we went about explaining magnetism to the students. And I said, teach a younger kid about magnets without anything, just your knowledge. And if you can do that, you know, that's phenomenal versus just memorizing the content from the book.
Students also enjoy it more. I would say my first year teaching it this way, which was 5 years ago, I think now. We got partway through and the kids kind of hem and haw for a little bit because it's more work. You have to think harder than just memorizing something. And we were about halfway through the year, someone was hemming and hawing that said, we could go back to just lecture if you want. I couldn't finish the sentence before. The entire room said no loudly to the point where across the hall they heard them say it. So they enjoy this. It's more work. They have to think harder, but because they are doing the thinking themselves, it means more and they're learning it better.
And I think that there's a lot, even as a classroom environment, kids are right from the beginning of the school year, they're up, they're the whiteboards, they're talking to their peers, they're building confidence that they might not have in a traditional classroom. And I feel strongly that I've developed a better rapport with my students through these discussions versus me lecturing at the board. I would argue that I have a better rapport with my students right now than I would at the end of the school year, just from these discussions. You're getting more FaceTime with them, you're bopping around, asking them questions, which if you were up there lecturing, you're not engaging with them in that way as often as you would in this way of teaching.
Perfect. And so that kind of brings us back to this shift in focus, which has just been a joy to experience. And I think you both just spoke to that as well. This attributes to a B, this idea of, you know, yes, we're teaching science, but it's so much more than that. The emphasis is on being an independent thinker, problem solving, these lifelong skills that are going to serve them any day, no matter what, you know, trying to change a tire or, you know, taking a class, any kind of life event that might come up. These are things that just really make you a rounded individual. And that's the focus now, is us trying to build these communication skills, listening skills, collaboration skills. We happen to be doing that through teaching science, but it's so nice to focus on that with the kids and really work with them. And it's just been amazing. So hopefully you were able to kind of get a little bit of a glimpse of what we do every day. We really appreciate you and your great participation tonight, putting you to work. Usually this is a little more of a passive process. So you guys have been troopers, great student mode. And thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm dying over here. So please, why don't you share a little bit of your thoughts? I know you have some.
Some. Yeah. There is such a thing as death by Martin, so we might not get out of here.
Yes, we will. We'll cut you off.
So who did all of the thinking in this activity?
The students.
Who did all the work in this activity during the activity? And there's a lot of work beforehand. The learners, right? We did all the work. Who did all the talking during this activity, during this learning experience? The learners. But let's not dismiss the whole curiosity aspect. Here you go, Karen. Who kept the curiosity? Who sparked the curiosity? And who kept that curiosity going? We had 3 teachers circulating the room. Were they telling you you're wrong? No, no, there's no 2 liquids in there. There's 4 liquids in there. Did they ever give it up? Would you ever want to play poker with these 3 ladies? No way, because they won't give it up. You saw Kelly stand here and go around the room. No one knew if we were right or wrong. She affirmed, said, that's interesting, never gave it up, never told the answer. And as learners, we want the answer right away. We got to wrestle, we got to struggle, got to grapple with these phenomena, because as Carrie said, and Courtney, we own the knowledge. We got to get students and learners to own the knowledge and make it their own. And Courtney, what you said was absolutely right. If your students are going home and teaching it from their brains, that's real learning. Folks, this is the apex of learning, and I'm not joking. Our 8th grade science scores have had the highest percent proficient, as well as some of the highest growth for the last several years. And I remember the dark years when we didn't have growth. That was like a decade ago. And we didn't have growth, and we weren't hitting those metrics. But kudos to the teachers and to our learners and the administration and everyone that's coming together. This started about 5 years ago. I know you were struggling. Kelly was looking like, what am I going to do? And then you found the organization, and you and Scott put together a 5-year plan, and it's growing. We have a K-5 science adoption that we're considering right now. We need to go this direction. We're not there yet. I got to get them over the goal line. We need to go this direction. We need to go the inquiry and modeling direction.
Tons of kudos to our staff as
Yeah.
well. And I think Courtney said it best. She's brand new to us this year, even though she's an alum. So she was a product of our
The way I can vouch for that.
product of our school district. But just for her to say, you know, she's in her 8th year of teaching. And I joke that this is a destination district, but people come to this district and want to continue to grow. We want to hire educators that want to continue to grow and not just do it the way that she had done it for 7 years, because she has wonderful colleagues who have helped with the professional development piece of this just to lead to new heights. And not only is it benefiting our students, but I would argue it's benefiting our educators just as much, with the passion and the drive and wanting to be at work and looking forward to it. So, you know, wonderful opportunities for our students, but I'm thinking on the other side of the adult side implementation of it, it just continues to rejuvenate our staff to do great things for kids. So thank you. And thank you for being here tonight as well. It's a long day for you. And as I always say with our presentations, when they're over, it's okay if you slide out the side door. We won't tell anyone or Mr. Pichette. So, anything else from the board or any questions or comments?
I just didn't catch which teachers, and are you all 8th grade? And okay, and so, yeah, I just.
So there's a red and gold team,
Yeah.
teacher, that's Carrie and Courtney, and then Kelly teaches our accelerated
Okay,
physical science or 7th and 8th grade.
okay, I just was curious.
No.
So-
Good question.
And a while back, there was a huge push for neuroeducation. And I think that we are one of the few districts that, yes, I know that you knew that I pushed it for quite a long time. But I'm so grateful that we've embraced it, because it is everything. It starts with the brain and curiosity. Thank you.
Yeah, usually board meetings are fun, but they're not this fun. So thank you for bringing that in. It was a great activity, and best of luck the rest of the year.
Am I a bad person if I ask, what are the liquids that were in it? Like, are you going to tell us? Or- Okay.
If you can't divulge it.
You
You're many great ideas.
Okay. Okay. That's why I'm gonna go home and research it more, because it's really bothering me. You did it.
Welcome anytime to come in and watch them teach on a regular basis. One day, on a topic, I'm sure they'll be willing to have you in there and have you in their classroom as well.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Jeff, is that it?
That's it.
All right. Thank you. We're going to move on to item 5, Treasurer's Communications, and turn it over to Craig.
Okay, well, it was exciting, a little bit better. So this is the January CFO report for how we are doing as a district financially. And so far, so good. So as we look at the revenue performance against, we have a favorable variance against our forecast. As you know, this will be updated at the end of February due to the new timelines by House Bill 96. So you see that the revenue over the forecast is $832,000. A lot of that is that refund from the Budget Commission, the Auditor's Office, which is about $600,000 of that. So we know that that's about the same. I do want to point out, because we all like to be advocates for public education, and Dr. Martin will love this part too, but we got a little surprise from DEW. If you look to the bottom here, where the state has reduced $10,000 this month for the science of reading stipend, which they said they would fully fund, right? Well, that wasn't really true. So they apparently overspent, and now they're just taking them back from us, which is a real fun time. The total they're expected to take back from BBH is about $30,000. Does it break the bank? No. But if they're in things like this, they should be paying for them. So I just want to call that out, that they are taking money from us that I really don't enjoy.
I'm sorry, you said they're fully funding the science fair, but they're not really. They're only paying for a portion of the
Portion.
curriculum.
Right.
So even like they've only paid for a portion of the curriculum we purchased because of the science of reading, and now they're taking back.
This was for the teaching stipends specifically. But they said that they were fully funding.
So the teachers had to do additional training and they got a stipend for doing the extra training. And we paid them that stipend when they completed it. But now the state's saying, oops, we didn't calculate that much. So now they're going to take money back from us. So how do we make up that gap? It's just like with school funding. We make it up with our general fund dollars that our taxpayers are contributing to our district.
And the dirty little secret with special education was that fully funded, according to the federal government, equaled 17%.
So anyway, good stuff all around. There was a little bit as we're planning for some of this, but as you know, the Fed continues to cut rates. They will continue to cut rates depending on what political pressures they are under as well. But declining interest rate income is becoming a reality. So that is starting to decrease. We're starting to shift some of that money into investments as this unfolds throughout the economy and the economic conditions that we're facing. So that's on the revenue side. Expenditure trends, we have a slightly unfavorable variance in expenditures, which is nothing to be concerned about. Salaries and benefits increased about $150,000 in December compared to the prior year. Again, this is because of step increases, base increases, nothing out of the ordinary that is here. It does highlight that 86% of our budget and expenditures do come from salaries and benefits. So you can see that large personal services, those top two bars there, personal services and benefits, there are top two expenditure items that we deal with. As a school district, purchase services and supplies are trending as they should be right now for the most part. Cash flow analysis, again, this just kind of keeps everything in check with how our cash flows fall. We are currently at our low point in January. A lot of treasurers are also trying to figure out right now that Cuyahoga County only released 50% of our tax advances for January that just came out. That'll be kind of talked about more next month. But our balances in our banking, our checking account right now is at its low point until we get the next two installments, which is one in February, one in March. It's a little different than how Summit County and some other counties do it because we only get once a month. But this is our low point until we get the spring recovery, and then we're still looking good at the end of the fiscal year. So the last slide of this is our year-to-date performance. So you can see that we've got, the extra revenue that we've looked at. Again, that's a one-time thing, so I would not expect that in the future. Expenditures are being controlled. And then, again, we're doing pretty well. So we are going to update this at the end of February with the next forecast. Again, they are recommending, K-12, who we work with our forecast, is recommending that we do another update in May just to kind of keep things flowing. So we're not going to see huge updates in February because we are trending pretty well according to our forecast. There's a couple small little changes that I will make that you'll see next month. And then in May, we'll do another update. If we'll continue that, we'll see how it goes. It's just very difficult for us to project that second final without having the real estate and knowing the delinquencies and other things like that, because we won't get our settlement fully done with real estate, which is our largest portion of revenue, until the middle of March. So it just makes it hard to forecast. So we might stay with the May thing. We'll see how everyone feels about it, but that is kind of where we are as of today. Any questions? Okay. Then below, you will see the cash position and annual spending plan, just if you want to dive into some more numbers or see where all the cash balances are for all of the funds that we have within the district. That is there for your viewing.
Okay, any other comments or questions?
My only comment is just because I have spoken to some members of the community in this cash position report that Mr. Yanaglas puts on the agenda every month, and he says there's the cash position of all of the funds. That includes those that reach out to me regarding our athletics. Their athletic funds are the 300 funds. If you open this up, you'll see down the left-hand column, there are 200 funds. Those are our clubs. And then our athletic funds are the 300. So if you are ever curious about the team that your child plays on and how much money that team has, it's all right there. So for families that are doing and engaging in fundraising and wanting to know, hey, how much does, we have some soccer players, we have basketball players here tonight, like how much does a baseball player, how many, what's in the baseball fund? What's in the boys basketball fund?
See, they're very excited. They're all looking right now. They're like, what's in there? They're gonna tell their coaches to buy them something.
So this is transparent. This is open for our public to see, for parents to see. And right here it is every month. So I just wanted to make that comment. This is where you go and find it. It'll tell you what money's encumbered and what that fund balance is at the very right.
I love it. Good point. And yeah, the 200s are above, so those are all the different clubs that we have as well. So yeah, lots of information.
Very good. Any other comments or questions? Okay, moving on to item 6A, hearing of the public. Is there anyone here that wishes to be heard? Nope. Okay, so we're going to move on to item 7, other business. 7A, resolve to approve the resolution as attached, adopting a pickup plan for STRS Ohio purposes for the position of superintendent effective August 1st, 2026. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So this has to do with the new contract that we have with Jeff. This is a requirement by the state that we have to put a resolution on for this. Are there any comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase,
Yes.
Mrs. Gillick,
Yes.
Ms. Kwiatkowski,
Yes.
Ms. O'Meara,
Yes.
Mr. Dosen.
Yes, item passes 5-0. Agenda item 8A, resolve to approve certified personnel recommendations. 8B, resolve to approve classified personnel recommendations. 8C, resolve to approve supplemental personnel recommendations. 8D, resolve to approve the check register and bank reconciliation as attached. 8E, resolve to accept donations as presented. 8F, resolve to approve the minutes from the December 10th, 2025 regular board meeting and the January 7th, 2026 organizational meeting as attached. Item 8G, resolve to approve consent items 8A through 8F. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
As we look through these, this could be by far the shortest certified staffing sheet that we've had of all time. We have one payment to a supervising teacher on that. Then we have our classified recommendations for that side of the house. Many new recommendations there, a few resignations and some unpaid leave. All that listed for you. Supplemental recommendations, ever since we went to the new coaches tool chest, we see a lot of these approvals for supplementals happening, in June and July. And now throughout the year, we don't see as many. So that's why it looks like there, on this one, looks like there's 2. So that's some of the change in the processes that's helped along the way. But all typical business this month.
Just give everyone a chance. Any questions, any news? Okay. Check register and bank reconciliation are here for you to review. Donations, we did have several donations that came in over the course of the month. Oopsies. And that's not done. There's a couple more of these. I don't know why that won't scroll right now, but okay. It's attached here for December and January.
There are some healthy donations, so we appreciate that. Those who are people and businesses that are making donations, it helps with our extracurriculars, so appreciate that. Any comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase,
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelic,
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski,
Yes.
Ms. O'Meara,
Yes.
Mr. Dosen,
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 9, superintendent recommendations. Item 9A, new board policy, first reading. Do you want to open that up?
just you had a motion first.
Uh,
No, that's a first read, sorry.
reading.
Sorry, my bad.
As usual, we have our big policy updates early in the year, October, November, and then again in February timeframe. From time to time, as we're doing business in the district, we come across policies that need to be updated and or added, and this is one here dealing with head lice, following recommendations of the CDC and the National School Nurses Association. As with all policy, this is the first read, and next month will be the second read where it'll be officially approved. And then following on the following meeting after that, then administrative guidelines will make their way onto an agenda. Again, just as a refresher, admin guidelines are not a 2-read process, just a single approval on those.
So prior to this, we did not have a policy
Yeah,
on
didn't
head
have a
lice.
policy on head lice. We had forms and ed guidelines.
It wasn't necessarily focused on like the whole, the no life lice policy. It was more or less focusing on even if there were certain number of nits or what does that look like? So this just makes sure to follow, guidance that we're not excluding our kids unless it is needed by qualified recommendations.
And there is a section in the, by the Cuyahoga County Board of Health about having to report if there's an outbreak. And I don't know whether we quantify what an outbreak is or not, but that's going to be something we have to address as well.
Yeah, and I mean, that's even if, I mean, it could be a series of sickness, right? So struck or anything in those regards. So yeah, obviously if there's outbreaks, we follow those processes.
Any comments or questions on that policy? That's a first read. So next month we'll have the second read where it'll be adopted. Item 9B, resolve to approve the Kent State University CCP MOU for the 2026-2027 school year as attached. We're doing, may I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Just our typical business, so we'll be approving CCP agreements here for the next couple of months.
Any comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase,
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelic,
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski,
Yes.
Ms. O'Meara,
Yes.
Mr. Dosen,
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 9C, resolve to approve the Lorain County Community College CCP MOU for the 2026-2027 school year as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
As just a point, we have about 205 students participating in CCP courses currently. All of our students in CCP courses are grades 9 through 12. Technically, by the law, it could be grades 6 through 12, but all of ours are high school students, about 205.
And just for reference, CCP is College Credit Plus and MOU is Memorandum of Understanding. Comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase,
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelic,
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski,
Yeah.
Ms. O'Meara,
Yes.
Mr. Dosen,
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 9D, resolve to approve the high school robotics trip proposal as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's out of state, West Virginia, and actually is using parent transport on this trip, which falls within board policy.
Comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase,
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelic,
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski,
Yeah.
Ms. O'Meara,
Yes.
Mr. Dosen,
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 9E, resolve to approve the high school orchestra trip proposal as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Orchestra will be making a trip to New York City. This is March of 2027. So they'll start advertising and fundraising and all the activities that go into this trip. Yet another experience our students get to benefit from our staff who put in the extra time to make this happen.
Where will they be performing?
They are going to be at various churches on the trip as well as
I
read it
saw
earlier.
the Cathedral of John the Divine. It's
Thank
like
you.
the big Episcopal cathedral
it.
there.
Yep.
Thank you.
And other places, I think, too.
Comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase,
Yes.
Mrs. Gaelic,
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski. Ms. O'Meara.
Yes.
Mr. Dosen.
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 9F, resolve to approve the Costa Rica trip proposal as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Again, this will be spring of 2027.
Do they need chaperones?
I'm sure if they get enough students, they would like it.
Comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase.
Yes.
Mrs. Gillick.
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski.
Yes.
Ms. O'Meara. Mr. Dosen.
Yes, item passes 5-0. 9G, resolve to approve the wraparound expert service agreement as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
This is an organization we partner with on many items. They're able this time to provide with us a substitute speech therapist. It's helping fill a gap while one of our employees will be on leave.
Comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase.
Yes.
Mrs. Gillick.
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski.
Yes.
Ms. O'Meara.
Yes.
Mr. Dosen.
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 9H, resolve to approve the 2025-2026 interagency agreement as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's for our preschool setting, allows multiple organizations to help service our students.
Comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase.
Yes.
Mrs. Gillick. Mrs. Kwiatkowski. Ms. O'Meara. Mr. Dosen.
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 9I, resolve to approve the resolution declaring transportation impractical for the 2025-2026 school year as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
One student's listed on this one.
Comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase.
Yes.
Mrs. Gillick.
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski.
Yes.
Ms. O'Meara.
Yes.
Mr. Dosen.
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 10, treasurer's recommendations. Item 10A, resolve to accept Platform Cement Inc. bid for the campus master plan Phase 2 New Hilton Drive project in the amount of $2,065,300. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
If you don't mind, I'll ask Brian Cost to come to the podium a little bit just to give us, I didn't warn him on this, so. That's what happens when you sit close to the superintendent. But as you well know, Brian helps lead many of these projects that are going on. So, Mr. Cost, if you don't mind just kind of explaining what we went through, what got us here, and what it's going to look like over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, so for the past couple of years, we've been working on the campus master plan. This is phase 2. Phase 1 was the actual demolition of Hilton Elementary School, left over from the elementary school new construction project. We used funds for that. This is still using funds from the elementary school bond levy. And to ease traffic on Mill Road, if everyone has been here at 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning, it is pretty much a nightmare and traffic jam. Everyone's trying to get to the same campus at the same time. So what this does is create a road down from Mill Road where the old Hilton Light is, all the way up to right behind the board office over here into a roundabout. And then merges with the other access roads up to the campus. So it will alleviate traffic. We've had traffic studies done. And AVG, the architect, did a good job designing with their engineers, which got us to a bid project, advertised, went through the bid process. We have a couple people's first time witnessing a bid, which is really exciting. You get a bunch of envelopes, you sit in a room and it's real quiet. You open the envelope and read the number out loud. And you hope you come in at a good number. This number is an excellent number. The architect advertised it at around 2.5 million, which we came in 490 or $2,490,000 was the advertised estimate. Came in at $2,065,300. Which is roughly $242,000 under budget. So that is awesome bid day savings. When you have projects like this, it really depends on when you go out to bid, when you accept them. End of the year, December, January, February is a good time to bid site work. All the contractors are trying to get their summer's work on their logs and get their projects in line. So we did a really good job. We've met with the contractor. They are confident in their number. They're confident in the schedule. And they understand that this is only phase 2 of the project, but it is an important one. And should be exciting. We look at breaking ground here, hopefully once the snow melts and we kind of thaw out a little bit. Probably early March, we'll start seeing some movement. April a little bit more, and then if you're around campus during summer, it'll be busy. It'll be a very busy construction summer over here on this campus.
When are we hoping to have it complete?
By the start of the school year.
Yep.
That is part of the contracted deadline, to have the road open and ready for the first day of school.
And this tonight is just approving the bid. Next month, we will have the contract available for you.
Do we anticipate much disruption to the campus during summer? I mean, where that's going in, I would assume there's nothing really much going on there.
The roundabout is the biggest impact, and the sanitary line from right behind the baseball field coming down is actually going to, right now, currently at a higher elevation than the roundabout will be. So they have to do the sanitary line and then the roundabout. So all the road, what would that be, south of us is it wouldn't be an impact, but it's that sanitary line and the roundabout that'll be the impact. But we also have turf that was already approved and all the other nice summer projects that it'll be busy. It'll be a good summer.
It always is, but there'll be a lot of work on this campus in
Yeah.
particular.
Yeah, correct.
Great,
Other
thanks.
questions?
Happening with, I know we talked about it before with cross country because they used to be in that area running and.
Yeah. It changes their course that they have for their invitational. Coaching staff have been talking about it and adjusting. May or may not be able to still run that invitational here. For those that are really study this sport of cross country, this ends many of the records because the course will be different. If not in a different location, will be much different. So it's a turning point for them. But we've been communicating with them for a long time, so they're aware of when they need to make adjustments. And
Starting again, when did you say? I know it's gonna be done by first day of school.
Usually when it thaws out. So it's really weather dependent when they.
Could be March, could be June.
Yeah. So next steps, this is voted on and approved, that gives platform the go ahead to start all their submittals, which are to tell the architect what they're actually going to be installing. It all goes through the process of getting approved. Then they start lining up all their materials, all their equipment, and March is, February is still a little iffy. March is somewhat, and then April, May will really start to go, and then June, July, hopefully it's real dry and they can be nice dry weather.
this company's done a lot of work with other school districts as well as Cleveland Metro Parks. They've done a lot of work there. So they come with a solid reference list.
And we've used them here as well in the past, yeah.
This could be my, not clearly understanding, but with this, we're going to kind of start on campus before the end of the school year. And we have spring sports starting. Will there be any disruption? Are we going to be communicating to the community if there is going to be any type of disruption on campus? And
Yeah, the biggest
Maybe correct
disruption is gonna happen on the road between baseball and softball.
okay.
And that's where a lot of the disruption is gonna happen. During the school year, it will be rerouting traffic in and out of campus. So we're gonna work closely with the contractor and make sure that when things like that happen, we have enough runway to make sure everybody's aware. It won't affect the playing surfaces of baseball and softball,
No.
but the surrounding areas, they'll see work going on.
Yeah, and just to be this turf will be more disruption to the community than the road.
Okay.
A lot of community members use the turf, the track, and we'll need to close it to make sure it's safe for them to install the new turf. So.
Can you let a few people know that, Mrs. Kwiatkowski? Jamie will be closed.
Yeah, yes, I will make them aware.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Any?
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian. Any comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase, Mrs. Gaelick,
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski,
Yeah.
Ms. O'Meara,
Yes.
Mr. Dosen,
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 10B, resolve to approve the First Energy Electric Audit Project Agreement as attached. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Seems like a great idea, Ms. Blanchett. How does that sound? It'll be less than what Mr. Koss had to do, but maybe tell the board what this is doing for us real quick.
Yeah, this will be brief. So this is kind of an echo of what we conducted with Spyglass for those of you who were here last year. We did a communications audit with a company called Spyglass, which their format for that was that we provided information on our most recent communication bills and an agreement that they could reach out to our providers to get the contracts and any other additional necessary information. And then there would be profit sharing. So anything that was collected as a result of that audit would be split 50-50 between Spyglass, who did the legwork to recover any funds, whether that be a contractual billing difference than what was originally agreed upon, or if there were, in our case, additional lines that were being published that we did not need published, those kind of examples. And we split that 50-50 with Spyglass. Similarly, the OSC came to us and all the districts and said that they were partnering with a local law firm and energy experts to do an audit of the electric bills of any school districts that were interested. So this would be the agreement that we provide the bills necessary, and they'd be able to reach out for any agreements that we have. And there would be a profit share between OSC, the law firm, and the energy specialist conducting the audit, and ourselves, with us taking the majority of any found savings or recovery. So could be a good thing for us. We do have a unique setup with our, we have a different electrical setup with our partnership with the US, but I do think that there's probably still some savings to be found here. So it's a no risk audit. If they don't find anything, we don't get anything. If they do, we get money back in our pocket.
Thank you.
Great. Any comments or questions?
I don't know if it says in the contract, when will the audit be completed?
You'll have to check. I can let you know.
Okay.
Don't know if they can work on entirely for completion.
Any other comments or questions? Roll call.
Mr. Chase,
Yes.
Mrs. Gillick,
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski, Ms. O'Meara,
Yes.
Mr. Dosa.
Yes, item passes 5-0. Item 11, closing items. 11A, announcements. The next regular meeting of the Board of Education is scheduled for February 25th at 6 p.m. Item 11B, may I resolve to adjourn the meeting? May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Chase,
Yes.
Mrs. Gillick.
Yes.
Mrs. Kwiatkowski, Ms. O'Meara,
Yes.
Mr. Dosa.
Yes, the meeting is adjourned. Everyone stay safe and warm.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Is that?